What's up everyone, VannKraken here, World of Warships Legends Alpha Tester. The official anniversary update for Legends is here, and it brings an entire summer festival full of new content and a more relaxed campaign for us to enjoy. So sit back and we'll take you through all the hits and misses on the update radar for the July 2021 patch with regard to new ships, game balance, gameplay, promotions and collaborations, and quality of life improvements that you need to know about. New ships in the anniversary event reward destroyer mains who have been patiently waiting update after update for a new offering to follow the last act of the Benham introduction, which seems like ages ago now. The 5-week Shock and Awe campaign unlocks our first hit, the Tier VII Z or ZF-6 German destroyer, and runs from July 26th through August 30th. All in, you'll spend about $6 US if you purchase Admiralty backing for 2,500 doubloons and complete the 100 milestones required to acquire this interesting and capable ship. In return for your efforts, you can reap a grand total of almost 77,000 doubloons worth of in-game experience and merch, including a nice assortment of retro crates from recent gigs like the Halloween, Black Friday, and Super Santa events. The campaign reward ship ZF-6 is a well-rounded destroyer. The 11th of the French Léardie class vessel, she was intended as an escort ship for the French fast battleships Dunkirk and Strasbourg, but was captured while only 16% completed. Her hull was to be finished to the French plan, but her armament would be switched to all German components, making her a naval chimera of sorts, including guns with some unique properties and a robust set of consumables as modeled for our in-game configuration. ZF-6's pros include workable but admittedly not OP main battery guns, with good firing angles and excellent shell ballistic characteristics, including strong AP shells that can make a real impact against armored cruisers and battleships. Her 5 128mm rifles are complemented by 2 racks of 4 fast-traveling, high-damage torpedoes that will prove tough for your foes to dodge, but are limited to an 8-kilometer range without any commander boost supplied. ZF-6 has a very good concealment rating that will allow her to get work done as a cap-controlling destroyer or a lone wolf as battle conditions require, and also has anti-aircraft batteries that can actually put a dent in enemy squadrons. Her consumables toolkit includes the option to mount defensive AA fire to boost this anti-aircraft capability further, and she is the first German destroyer in Legends to carry the main battery reload booster as well. She can wear down enemy capital ships with impressive efficiency using AP rounds aimed at cruiser hulls or battleship superstructures while it is active. From a cons perspective, ZF-6 has only 5 main battery rifles, so her damage per minute output is lower than some contemporary destroyers in her tier. She also has typical German HE rounds that are good enough to get by but are not the hardest hitting or the best at starting fires. So you have to choose your battles wisely when knife fighting enemy DDs, either when you're at a material health advantage or you have your main battery reload booster at the ready. She also has relatively low survivability for her tier due to a small hit point pool, mediocre agility, marginal duration smoke, and no sonar consumable that is typically standard equipment on higher tier German destroyers. But even with these drawbacks, Epic PC content creator Notzer describes ZF-6 as having lots of useful tools to come out on top in a variety of tactical situations, and labels her as one of the best, if not the best, dockyard project ship to come out on the PC side of the game. You can check out a link to his review in the description below, where he impressively holds an entire cap and flank solo. We hope to have another hit on our hands with the second destroyer to be released in the anniversary update, the Tier VII Italian Premium Paolo Emilio, which has such a strong reputation for fun that it goes by the Leroy Jenkins-esque nickname of Yolo Emilio in World of Warships PC. Beyond some player-based consternation regarding her consumables, one awesome development for those of us who have been holding out hope for something new is that this ship is going to be available for 750,000 global experience and not for doubloons. But let's discuss if she will be worth the cost. From a pro's perspective, Paolo's unique high-speed attacks are created by good main battery guns with excellent shell ballistics and a complementary loadout of huge potential damage torpedoes. Her 8 main battery rifles are of 135mm caliber and are easy to aim due to their high muzzle velocity and resulting laser-like shell arcs. And that torpedo loadout of 3 quadruple launchers is jaw-dropping, with respect to the fact that these 6-kilometer base range fish have an amazing 24,000 damage per warhead, giving them the ability to take down the beefiest targets when scoring multiple hits. Paolo is also a well-armored ship for a destroyer. Yes, she actually has armor. This unexpected durability stems from reinforced turrets and barbettes, and a 60mm belt that can even bounce AP shells if advantageously angled. But the signature tactic that earns her the nickname of Yolo Emilio on PC is made possible by her engine smoke consumable, which can cloak her at full speed, coupled with an improved engine boost, which gives a 25% boost in engine output for a brief 50-second period. When used in tandem, these items work synergistically to unfurl lightning-fast cloaked attacks that can fell battleships and cruisers with a massive damage torpedo strike when skillfully executed. However, we just don't know at this point if those consumables will carry over into the Legends side of World of Warships in the same form. Paolo will lose her semi-armor piercing shells, in addition to pre-existing cons that include a low main battery rate of fire, poor concealment due to her large size, and vulnerability to carrier attack planes. So the story remains to be told if the OG Yolo Emilio or just a plain old stripped down Paolo Emilio shows up in Legends. We'll be cautiously optimistic about the arrival of another premium destroyer, but wait and see before we pull the trigger to spend 750,000 global XP on a ship that might be robbed of her legendary superpowers. Our final hit in the new ships category is the full release of the mighty North Carolina, the USN battleship that seems so oddly placed at Tier 6 in the Legends alternative USN BB Tech Tree line. We're not going to go into all of the bloody details, but please trust me when I say this should be literally one of the best battleships tier for tier, including the US Navy ships in all of Legends. She sports 9 16-inch main battery Mark VI rifles, capable armor, no-fly zone AA, and both well above average agility and speed that feel far more similar to Iowa than to Colorado. She's definitely no plotting dreadnought. Her super heavy AP shells have a relatively high ballistic arc that take a little bit of practice to aim consistently, but can deliver devastating plunging fire that rips through decks and can even Citadel turtleback armor schemes at range with regularity. While I fully believe North Carolina deserves the respect of being a top tier tech tree ship, she's poised to kick even more stern at Tier 6, where she doesn't even have to go up against legendary tier ships. If you like battleships even a little bit, definitely mark her down on your to-do list. On the opposite side of the coin, the next ship up the new alternative USN BB line is the Tier VII Kansas, which gets a 12-barrel, 16-inch Mark VII main battery rifle setup, 3 more guns than North Carolina. They get an advantage of improved range, but are not especially accurate at long ranges on PC, so we'll see how they perform in Legends. Kansas is unique with regard to having access to the defensive AA fire consumable, but will have to sacrifice another useful option like catapult aircraft to deploy it. However, it might be worth choosing it since her 22.5 knot top speed is similar to Colorado and then it feels not much faster than most adult whales, and leaves her vulnerable to high-tier CV aerial assault. But on the brighter side, Kansas does offer pretty tanky armor with a submerged citadel to boot, and all things considered, I would label her a maybe choice to grind out, depending on whether you enjoy the slower-paced dreadnought style of play and being a damage farm for Yamatos and Conquerors who will surely use her as an XP pinata with regularity. Finally, the middle-tier alternative battleships Nevada and Tennessee are a bit duplicative and feel like a been-there, done-that experience if you already own a few USN dreadnoughts of similar ilk. I'm sure some players will find a new favorite here, though, as every American battleship can perform well against its peers with some practice. Moving on to positive game balance items on the anniversary update radar, we have more love for destroyer mains, with all nations DD commanders getting the new Perceptive skill. Most importantly, Perceptive redistributes the twist and track direction finding ability that signals the rough direction of the closest undetected enemy ship to any destroyer, though some nation ships will benefit more than this from others. A second hit in game balance is continuing work on rebalancing Tier 7 aircraft carriers. Attack plane squadron and strike group sizes will be adjusted, and it's important to note that even when more planes are available per squadron in the new allocations, individual plane hit points have been nerfed to keep the total health per squadron roughly the same, which should make single planes a little bit easier to shoot down. Shikaku has also been hit slightly with the nerf bat to bring her damage totals down and in line with the other Tier 7 CVs, most notably Lexington. She'll still retain potent damage output, but it will take a longer duration of time in a match to attain her prior damage totals. On the less exciting side of game balance, some universal commanders that work well across different ship types will have their least used skills across the player base stripped. Programmer's skill Barely Out of Peril actually is in peril and will be removed along with shell switching on second thought and smoke on the water from commanders Heiichiro, Dewey, and Shear. And Barely Out of Peril will also be whacked alone from commanders Jellicoe, Von Essen, Dufournet, and Campione. Given their lack of usage, none of these skill changes should have a major impact on ship builds for the vast majority of players. And the anniversary update Destroyer Love Train keeps on chugging as we ping the hits for gameplay developments. 2 new Italian DD captains join the game in the patch, so you don't have to figure out how to best skill up a lesser universal commander in your existing Leone any longer, or who to shoehorn into the new Paolo Emilio. Choose Giuseppe Fulgosi if you'd like to boost the smoke generator performance of your Italian destroyer, or Luigi Rizzo if you want your engine to be buffed temporarily like a Seaborn Ferrari. I call it a hit because it brings more variety to the game, but other PC veterans may disagree that the Epicenter game mode being introduced into the big race map is a good thing, as it seems to be universally loved or hated in PC World of Warships, with nearly no one left on the fence. Say hello to one giant capture point reminiscent of arena mode, but with the addition of individual concentric rings in a central circle that can be won individually to speed your team's point counter toward the victory threshold. You can choose whether to enjoy this new mode or let the salt slinging commence. A third gameplay hit is that each team's ships will be allocated in a more symmetrical manner to spawn points. Stranding single ships, especially at wide flank positions, is pretty silly, and this long overdue change is great news. And finally, ranked battles return for your personal fun or torture. You do you with regard to whether you choose to play ranked and pursue some rewards, including the steel you can use to buy stuff in the Forge. 3 seasons will run in July and August, with 2 weekend sprints and 1 longer event, with 3 tiered leagues to climb through in a relatively relentless onward and backward and upward fashion. The arms race resource buff mechanic trialed in arena mode will add a bit of a twist to ranked action this time around. In the promotions and collaborations department, there are 2 big hits incoming that are designed to reward the very talented and incredibly loyal Legends player base. First off, there will be a full slate of 2-year anniversary events that will include a soon-to-be-published list of freebies, sales, and activities. Thankfully, WG has explicitly stated that you won't have to completely grind your arse off to reap some valuable rewards, including participation in what sounds like a treasure hunt that might be something similar to the advent calendar we had over the holidays. The other surefire hit is the return of the legendary Birthday Bureau event like we had last year, in which you can unlock some hopefully permanent anniversary camos and more retro crates that call back to recent promotions like Golden Week or the seasonal Big Crate offerings. There won't be a stated end date on this Research Bureau project, so just start it when you get a chance to keep it from disappearing from your active projects list. And finally, we have a new anime collaboration coming as well, Arpeggio of Blue Steel. These ladies come with more frumpy outfits as compared to the Azure Lane gang, but will similarly be bringing along a few bedazzled IJN ships, commanders with special voiceovers and unique skills, and a cool new collectible Atago skin. Whether you love anime or hate it, I say live and let live, as it's easy to turn off the voices and skins in the settings if you don't want to hear or see it. And for the last stop on our radar, we have a lightning round of hits that vastly outweighs the misses when it comes to a bunch of useful quality of life improvements coming in the anniversary update. Ship consumable options and interchangeable slots will be made more noticeable. I have to admit, I did not find out about the secondary battery consumable until someone told me about it on stream, so this will be a nice enhancement for new players especially. Detected ribbons will be tracked in battles for all kinds of ships and planes now, including spotters and fighters, which is a great way to let players know how they are contributing to their team beyond damage, kills, and caps. For all you crate hoarders out there like me, you can now open all of your crates at once and save a bunch of valuable time watching repetitive animations. And last for the hits, we are getting a bunch of cool Type 9 historical camos that can be made permanent for 75 paint. Though they all look nice, I have to give props to Bismarck especially for sporting the best look of the bunch. Which leaves us with a first miss that isn't really a big negative at all, just a missed opportunity. Port ship filters will be made a bit more user-friendly, which is nice, but I'd much rather see this kind of effort applied to creating more useful functionality like a multi-level ship carousel. I guess we'll have to leave the dream of less endless scrolling for a future date. And finally, mixed tier divisions will be allowed between Tier 7 and Legendary ships for the first time, which is great for the flexibility of friends playing together, but might have the inadvertent side effect of teaching more folks to fail division, which is pretty much a consistent problem in Legends already. So personally, I'm going to take a hard pass on this new feature. While you're already here and all revved up for all this good stuff coming in the anniversary update, including the Shock and Awe campaign, why not check out our video linked in the corner above for useful tips and tactics to play one of the past reward ships that might be rusting in your port. Or you can drop a suggestion in the comments below for a topic you'd like to see covered in a coming video, or tell us what you're looking forward to most in the upcoming Summer Festival event. And don't forget to join us for a live stream here on YouTube or on Twitch, or to check out our growing library of game tips, guides, and other content here on our YouTube channel. Until we meet again, let's all keep our fingers crossed that Paolo Emilio emerges in Legends as Yolo Emilio and not a no-go Emilio, so we can all spend some of our banked up global XP and terrorize some battleships. Until next time, this is VannKraken and I am out.